Oh shit, here we go again.
20 games left as we approach the end of the 25-26 season. Liverpool fans are left with mixed emotions regarding the standard of performances that was set throughout the whole season. At one point, we were 5-point clear at the top of the table. 5 wins in a row, flying, cruising. It genuinely felt like Liverpool were on the course for another Premier League title. But then, everything changed. A brutal run of form, 9 losses in 12 games, defeat at home, 4-1 to PSV, 2-1 to Manchester United, 3-0 to Nottingham Forest, had the Scousers asking questions, what went wrong? What exactly is the issue with this Liverpool team? A team full of experienced world-class players, a team full of young players on the rising. What exactly is the issue? Is it personnel? Is it structure? Is it some player possibly could just be way past their best? Tactical issue? Or is it a combination of all these issues? Well, today I'm going to break down the exact problem and issue of what Liverpool needs to fix in the coming summer in the next transfer window for us to be able to bypass this transitional phase and be able to get back to where we once were before, fighting for those Premier League titles and Champions League titles. So let's get into it. But like I said before, breaking down about how we could get back to the level we once were before, it starts with winning either the Champions League, which seems very unlikely, or getting top 4 or top 5 if we're gifted the extra spot for the Champions League football. Because in order for me to be able to tell you what I believe, what we need in order to compete our transitional phase, the players we need, we wouldn't be able to acquire without the competition. So Liverpool first and first, one of the one-step order for us to complete this rebuild is getting a spot in that Champions League competition next season. After a summer where Liverpool spent close to £500 million and also letting go of key personnel who played a crucial role in winning our second Premier League title in 5 years, there's a brutal reality that we can't ignore. Despite all that spending, despite the rebuilding, acquiring world-class talent, the brutal reality that we can't ignore is that the squad is still lacking personnel to take this team back to the level it once were, making the team completed. Let's get into what those are. But before we actually dive into the actual squad in terms of personnel, there is one position in the entire squad that we must talk about, the most important position of them all in order for us to get back to the level we once were. And that is right now the managerial situation. Many questions have been asked about the performances, about the choices of Arnold Slot over the course of a season, whether he deserves to stay or if it's time to recruit another manager that is able to prove and take over the mantle and take the team to the next level. Considering the circumstances that this man did deliver us our second Premier League title in 5 years, this clearly isn't enough to the Liverpool fans and footballing fans for Arnold Slot to be given enough time and backing in order to prove and stabilise and also solve the issues that is currently showing within the Liverpool Football Club. And to specify those issues, over the course of the season, there have been many circumstances, many issues that Liverpool had failed to deal with in terms of set pieces, defensive structure, midfield structure, pressing structure, ball retention and creativity. The big question remains, considering the fact that this man did win us our second Premier League title in 5 years, showing us signs that there's positive future to come, considering also the circumstances this season, 9 losses out of 12 at one point in the season, 5th, the performances are not really showing. Do you guys believe that this is the man to take us to the level that we once were before? Because my personal opinion is that I don't think we should be very harsh on the manager right now in terms of the situation. I think we should show patience and also wait until the transitional phase is actually done. Because in my opinion, we are still missing pieces, and with the style that Slot is trying to implement, ball retention, pressing, creativity, fast football. It requires certain type of personnel. And Arnold Slot does not acquire those type of personnel at this moment in time. So in my personal opinion, I do believe that he does deserve more time. Speaking of personnel, let's get into exactly what we're missing in order for us to get back to the level we once were. For the certain type of style that the Dutch manager is trying to set into this Liverpool football team, the personnel is exactly what he needs in order to implement that style to perfection. And let's get into exactly what those personnel are. Already, the recent addition of Jeremy Jacquet and Giovanni Leone, the defensive depth is still a task to look at amongst this summer, considering the contract saga with Ibrahima Konate, with also Virgil van Dijk turning 36 years old heading into his last year of his deal, alongside Gomez being injury prone and possibly on his way out. That leaves us with 3 certain centre-backs in the squad, but yet that is not enough. If we do say Konate does eventually sign, I do believe that we should sign one more centre-back in terms of depth. In this type of style, in the first phase of the build-up, it's very essential for the style that Slot is trying to structure. Being the first phase of build-up, there are certain traits that is required in order for this style to elevate. The player I have it in mind would also benefit us very highly in both circumstances, with either Konate staying or leaving at the end of the season. And that man is no other than Micky van der Ven. This choice right here, like I said, not only benefit us in both ways, considering the circumstances with Konate, but if we do actually get this over the line, it also benefits a lot of defenders in the squad, including our captain, Virgil van Dijk. He's experienced, he's strong, he's fast, he's a leader, you know. Yes, at times he could be caught out, but he's still young, he can still learn. Considering the circumstances right now that Tottenham are in terms of where they are in the league, in terms of how the club is run right now, and also the situation that Micky van der Ven is also holding off his contract talk and also having doubts with his future at Tottenham. This opportunity right here, right now, is the perfect opportunity for us to take this over the line and actually have such a quality, amazing centre-back that also evidently has expressed that he always wanted to come to the Liverpool Football Club, but before didn't know if he would be a first place starter. But like I said, Micky van der Ven is someone in the style that Slot is trying to create, especially in the build-up, first phase, ball progression, good on the ball, good ball carrier. Micky van der Ven ticked every single boxes. And this is something where me personally, realistically, is something that we can get over the line. For me, I've noticed certain pattern of why we've lost games, why we struggle. For me, that is lack of physicality, lack of duel winning in the midfield. The game against Nottingham Forest away is a prime example of that being the case. Elliot Anderson alone in that game showed the level in physicality, the differences against a whole Liverpool midfield. Having us to ask the question of what needed to be done in order to take this midfield to the next level, there's a lot lacking. With Vert, Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch pretty much untouchable, the question raised amongst the likes of Curtis Jones, Endo and Alexander McAllister, considering the rumours that they are all on their way out. The replacement I have in mind can bring this midfield to the next level and also suit the style that Slot is trying to implicate. The replacement I have in mind are the replacement that I believe that could solve a lot of issues in terms of structure and physicality. And the names I've got right now is first, I want to start off with Carlos Baleba. This player, Brighton, left-footed, both-footed, technical, strong, tall, fast. This player is extremely disciplined. Obviously, considering the circumstances right now at Brighton, not really the best of performances this season, ever since that saga between Man United and Brighton, where he evidently also expressed his case to leave for the club. Ever since then, his performance has not really been at the best level. But from what I've seen, this guy has an opportunity to be a lot better than all the other players that Brighton has had at their disposal. Caicedo, Bissouma, McAllister. This guy can solve a lot of teams in the league issues in terms of physicality, technical ability. He offered a lot. And another one I got in mind, very, very, very similar to what Carlos Baleba can offer into our midfield, is Mamadou, if I pronounce the name right, Mamadou Onana, a former Evertonian player at Aston Villa right now. I have watched this player this season and he's been absolutely incredible. Physically, technically, the ball carrying, the technicality has been absolutely world-class level. And this is something that if we were to sign him, it would take our midfield to the next level. But if it's something that I believe that we would go in for and get over the line, also Onana did also express that he would love to also play for a top club in the Premier League or in the world at some point in the season. But are we someone who could maybe get that kind of a talent to come to Liverpool, regarding the fact that you won't play for our rival? I sure hope so. And the last one I have in mind is my favourite one. But in my personal opinion, what this guy can offer is what already McAllister offered us. But when I've watched him, maybe not lately, but when I've watched him, he's been absolutely incredible. My favourite midfielder out of the top six, ball-footed, good ball progression, can pass the ball with range with both feet, good in the midfield, good getting stuck in. This player, is no other than Adam Wharton. This player is absolutely amazing. In terms of what we're lacking in the midfield, someone to have that range of passing, someone who's not afraid to lose the ball, that is something that I would love to have in our squad. And that is something I thought McAllister would give us. But I've not seen enough of that of McAllister this season. But I do believe, in terms of also everything Trent has left the squad, I think the range of passing, the range of distribution, this is something that I believe that Adam Wharton could offer us if we were to get this over the line this summer. I'm not saying all these three players is exactly who we need. I'm saying maybe two of the three can add to that missing physical work that the squad know that the midfield had been missing since Fabinho has left the club. Also, adding to the fact that these two players, especially, evidently, Carlos Baleba and Amadou Onana, would complement Vert so well to do less hard work and also balance it with technicality, work rate, and dual winning. Now, okay, this is the important part of the transitional phase now. The forward line. In terms of what needs to provide for this system to thrive, specifically, we need power, work rate, pace, flair, the ability to break down low block with individual brilliances. That's what we've been lacking this season across the forward line. And Liverpool fans, you don't want to hear this, but I'm going to say something that's about to be controversial. After hitting peak elite world-class level in 24-25 season, showing signs of slowing down, but for obvious reasons, I do believe Mohamed Salah still has a spot in the squad to provide impact and quality numbers, but for me, not as a starter. But for someone who is paid at the highest wages in the club, there is not a chance that that would be the case. So it would be time to pull the plug. Also, as a backup, possibly. I don't know. But in terms of replacement on the wing, not an output, we also got Hugo and Isak for that one. I'm talking about position and also what they can provide in the system to thrive. Pressing from the front, running in behind, power, 1v1, accommodating the likes of Isak and Hugo SSCK. The player I have in mind that can provide are Yan Diomande, Mateus, Akon would kill us, but we're utility at the point. And Morgan Rogers. We gotta also put in the fact about the uprising and upcoming of Rio Engamora. Exciting talent, quality on the ball, can give us something what we're lacking, but also in terms of man management, in terms of match management, I feel like the way we're managing him right now is also very beneficial for his career long term. So that's why I do believe Yan Diomande and Yakubu Mateus would be very, very, very quality signing in terms of exactly what we need. The wingers that I'm asking for, that we personally need, are not someone that can provide the output that Salah and Mane once could. Like I mentioned before, Isak and Hugo are the players there for it right now in moment in time. But these other players, especially in terms of pressing from the front, pace, power, breaking down low blocks, something that we have struggled over the course of the season. These are the players that could give us exactly what we're missing, and in order for this system to thrive. And that brings me back to my point at the start of the video. I said to you, Arnold Slot deserves a chance. He deserves patience. Yes, the 500 million last season, he should have done a lot more with what he had at his disposal this season, but that's not fair. I do feel like once the team is finished, I do feel like we are seeing something special. We are seeing something scary, and I'm talking about domination at the highest level. Only if we get the right personnel for something that Klopp, I can't get it out of my head, for something that Arnold Slot is trying to implement. So, yes, in terms of pressing, in terms of technicality, in terms of physicality, these are the main attributes we need in order to get back to the top level and allow the system to be able to thrive at the highest point. So, but yeah, guys, this season was a transitional season. We were in a transitional phase. Yes, we expected more. Yes, we expected a lot better. Challenging for the league, challenging for the Champions League. But sometimes you have to accept that sometimes it just doesn't go the way we thought it would go. But have hope for next season. Because like I say, at the end of a storm, there's always a golden sky.